hear from her.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction, Matthew. Hi, everybody. So let's see what we have here. I'm very glad to be involved in this virtual seminar. So games and learning, a lot to cover. And my presentation today will focus on the 3 real success stories of reading battle in a Hong Kong subsidized primary school. So in today's digital age, many children and youth are hooked on social media and technology. Hence, we recognize that we cannot rely on only print materials to encourage students' reading habits and promote reading to learn in our school. And so luckily, school joined the research projects of Dr. Chu, Reading Battle as one of the pilot schools in the school year 2013 and 2014. We started with a total number of 260 primary 3 and primary 4 students at the very beginning. Then we extended to cover primary 2 and also primary 5 with a total of 550 students 6 months after we found it worked really well on our students. So the implementation plan of the school library was focused on one of our child-friendly targets, not one less, so as to capture one of the underlying beliefs of Reading Battle, that is every child is a winner. And in order to achieve our target, we intensified individual support and incorporate the program into our school reward screen and also our holiday program. The term score ranking and the improvement score ranking of the Reading Battle system in 2015 also cared the engagement of the reading underachievers in the battle. During the various implementation stages of Reading Battle at school, many amazing findings drew our attention to this terrific e-quiz system. There are some impressive findings I want to share with you here. So we all know that April the 23rd of each year is the World Book and Copyright Day. To pay tribute to all the authors and books as well as the copyright laws, we make April our World Book Month in the school and hold a range of reading to learn activities for the celebration. One of the activities is asking all students to evaluate their favorite websites with an evaluation form. And to our surprise, Reading Battle came to be the top 10 websites in the school year 2013 and 2014. It had only been implemented for approximately 2 months in our school at that time. It kept climbing up the ladder and took the 2nd place in 2015 and 2016, and Reading Battle continuously to be the top 10 during the last 6 years of our participation. So that's another very exciting findings I want to share here. As we could understand at the very beginning, students were attracted by the e-badges of the system. And later on, after reading lots of books due to the e-badges collections, they engaged in their own reading. Interest in reading was fostered during the process. One of our students' reading ability continuously enhances as shown from the system. The intensive data input in a short period of time, I'm talking about reading over 130 books in several months, also causes another exciting side effect. The students' writing ability was also increased, and the acquisition of a large amount of vocabulary through the reading offer the students better word choices for their writing. Devices found in books were also assimilated into the students' writing. We could see students' skills in reading and skills in writing went hand in hand. Obviously, good children literature of Reading Battle motivates students to think from multiple perspectives and at the same time enhance their language and also the literacy development. It was understood that personal satisfaction of accomplishing something essentially great from Reading Battle was the best motivation of sustainable reading to learn for our students. Other than that, the delightful experience of Reading Battle causes individual students proper use of internet for learning instead of playing online games or listening of pop music. One of our students enjoyed reading due to the charm of the e-quiz. New positive image of this student among the peers builds up her confidence in school learning. In addition, the system guides us to find out another group of good readers who did not have outstanding performance in reading before. From our working experiences in primary schools, mostly girls have been better readers than boys. However, the top 3 achievers of each level in Reading Battle have at least one boy all the time. It may be due to the magic of gamification. And those students who have good performance in Reading Battle got a chance to join the e-book creation workshop, and they can create their own e-books. If the e-books are really good, then the research team will choose those and upload onto the system. All these findings drew our extra attention upon the running of Reading Battle in school. So as here you can see a school survey was carried out after running Reading Battle for a year. It aims at investigating the effectiveness of Reading Battle from the perspective of our primary 2 to primary 4 students. As you can see from the screen, the result was very encouraging. 94% of the students recognized that Reading Battle could improve their reading comprehension, and 83% of the students believed that their reading comprehension homework and assessment scores in the school second semester of the school year were improved. And also 84% of the students agreed that Reading Battle had interesting children's literature collections. 94% of the students thought that the Reading Battle could enhance their interest in reading. The implementation of Reading Battle allow us to understand more about the needs of the student, including the students with autism spectrum disorder, so the ASD students. According to our data collections from different aspects, including students' academic performance from the school-based special education needs data bank, data from Reading Battle, the teacher librarian's observation on students' development, interviews with individual students and parents during the periods from the 2014 to 2016, we found that gamification has a positive impact on ASD children's learning and also social development. After running the program for approximately 6 months, we found that incorporated gamification in reading could successfully motivate the ASD students to engage in their e-quiz learning. Not only was their reading interest increased, but their academic performance, self-image, communication skills were highly improved, as reported by their parents and observed by the teachers. Their reading quantity has substantially increased as shown from the e-quiz system. Simultaneously, their academic performance, especially their language proficiency, had also enhanced. The application of game mechanics such as points and e-badges to various types of digital experiences in Reading Battle makes the online learning more fun and engaging. The Reading Battle platform uses gamification concepts like competition, achievement, and goal settings to motivate ASD students to return. Gamification makes reading to learn more fun and personal. It can largely engage ASD users in learning as it can personalize and also customize their learning experience. The delightful personal journey starts with the onboarding. Simple introduction to the features and functions enable any ASD students embark the journey on their own. So during the journey, their comprehension abilities were gradually raised up with the scaffolding device. Tips were provided to any wrong answers in the system, and students' learning progress were shown on the screen and encouraged the children to take the next step. So every step is clear and easy to understand. That is very important. Gamification provides powerful motivations. Points can be converted into e-badges and their ranking that students valued a lot. So students earn the e-badges to display their participation level. Different types of leaderboards such as the term score ranking, improvement score ranking within the school and across the schools of different areas make the game either a race to the top or a contest with others at their relative level. ASD students might think that they are playing with others, but actually they are learning. Before I share the ASD student stories, we must, however, note that the umbrella word ASD, autism spectrum disorder, includes children with Asperger's syndromes and also the twice exceptional. So the students with ASD can also be gifted. Reading Battle can provide positive experiences for those high-functioning children on autism spectrum disorder. They can have an optimum experience during their participation of this educational enrichment program. So right here, I would like to share three stories about the remarkable changes of ASD students in the implementation of reading battle. The first story is about a child whose parents knew his son was quirky. So as an infant, he didn't make eye contact. And by 3 years old, he showed no interest in talking. Luckily, both parents of this child were well-educated persons with understanding of the children's developmental needs and knew how to seek help from the community. As told by the parents, their child could identify tons of different objects and was good at English even at age 3. However, he was always locked in his own mind. Even minor mistakes from his own could trigger his emotions. He liked to put his anger to his own sometimes, but to others most of the time. When he studied in our school, he came across a general study teacher who could identify his special interests on digital learning. He could always identify some specific images on screen, which might easily be ignored by the others, and react fast with digital learning. After participating in Reading Battle for 5 months, his well performance in Reading Battle was well received by his elite classmates. They became more willing to communicate with him, accept his uncertain behavior, and gave him maximum support. Due to the increased amount of reading, he understood the world more, which created a positive impact on him. He started to show his empathy to other people. And there was once general study teacher showed them the poor living environment of children in a subdivided room setting of Samshui, a very poor area in Hong Kong. He sobbed, raised up his hands, and asked what the future of those children will be. So he started to put himself into other one's shoes to understand the world. The second story I want to talk about is about a girl who was affected by her peer, an active reading battle player, and became a more socialized person herself later. This girl was raised up in a middle class family. Both of her parents were also well educated. Before participating in reading battle, her academic performance was not that good, and she stayed in the usual classes of the school. After active participation in reading battle under her peers' influence for 6 months, she was promoted to the sub-elite class after. Her social circle kept expanding. Her good performance in reading battle boosted her confidence and created her positive image before the class. Gradually, she found that the right way to communicate with others. Their discussions in and out of the school were not limited to the strategies of reading more books and handling more difficult quizzes. They would also talk about their challenges in the daily lives. I was very happy to receive the pictures from their parents in WhatsApps, which showed the class enjoyable social gathering with her out of school. She gradually grabbed the essential skills to make friends, such as knowing the right time and proper ways to express herself. Reading Battle also guided her to the proper use of digital tablets for learning. She no longer addicted to pop song online, but striving to better herself with her peers in Reading Battle and school learning. The last story is about a very shy child of an unusual class transformed into a confident child of an elite class. Before joining Reading Battle, he always stayed away from peers and hid himself at the quiet corners during the recess time. After joining Reading Battle for 6 months, no one could ever beat him out of the leaderboard. His reading habit and reading interests were fostered by the intervention of the school and parents at the very beginning. His level of attention was obviously improved. After approximately 8 months, he became an independent learner. He picked up books to read in his spare time and discussed with his parents and friends about questions he had come across in reading. So reading better expanded his vocabulary rapidly and largely improved his reading comprehension abilities. Reading across different genres fostered his literacy development and boosted his academic performance, especially on the language subjects. He became more willing to express himself in both verbal and non-verbal communication. So there are three key features of Reading Battle which articulate the positive impact on students with ASD. First of all, the instant gratification that ASD students can get from Reading Battle, from the resistible e-badges, scores, and other board ranking, in addition to the effective means of communication trained participants and also the research team through the online content in the system, allow the students to demonstrate their abilities and discovery right away before the others. And students can report the bugs of the e-quiz to the research team in the worm catcher exercise through contests to earn their worm catcher award. It can successfully enhance students' motivation in reading and learning. Secondly, Reading Battle can provide data to acknowledge users, their progress in reading, and also their reading comprehension abilities. Thirdly, it is not difficult for users to relate their achievements in Reading Battle to their daily school learning. A better understanding of the lexicon, sentence structure, text structure, and distinctive language patterns from reading across genres benefit their academic performance. And you can see right here, the positive impact of gamification on the ASD students' learning are undeniable. Further research on the effectiveness of gamification upon different types of ASD students or those with other learning difficulties in both short-term or long-term is essential to support students' diverse learning needs in school. Other than that, there is another impressive findings I would like to share before the end of my presentation. As a teacher librarian, I will gather the number of books read by the student at the end of the school term. And the impact of incorporating gamification in reading is consistent in our school. As you can see, students start to use Reading Battle in primary 2 right now in our school. However, we found that in compare the primary 1 students reading figures in 217 and 218 with those after the intervention of Reading Battle when they promoted to primary 2 in 218 and 217. There are approximately 3,000 more books being read by the students. So that is really impressive. Lastly, I'm very thankful for Dr. Chiu and the UST who gave me the opportunity to share this message today. I hope more professionals can provide fruitful and enjoyable gamification experiences as Reading Battle does for those students around the world. So Matt, that's all my sharing today.
Okay,